this one. Streaming live. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the show. Oh, yes, of course I need to. Get rid of this. I somehow always do that wrong, so that's something that I need to fix still. Hey everyone, great to see you guys. We will be starting in roughly 9 minutes with the show, and it's going to be a great show today. And before I start with everything that we're going to talk to you about, is that, of course, I'd like to welcome you, of course, but also I want to, just to get to know you. If you're new to this show, please type in the comments that you're new, NEW, and then of course I can see it over here and say hello to you, because that is what I really like to do, because it's a community, so we want to know each other and talk to each other, etc. So that would be great. I see that Paul Dixon is also in the house, and Paul, he has done something brilliant, I have to tell you, because we will be showing the new website. Now, it is not done yet. Well, it is done, sorry, but it's not live yet. That's what I wanted to say. But I can show you what it looks like right now. So it looks roughly the same as this at this moment. So it only says coming soon, and then that's about it. So, what is coming soon? That will be revealed later on today. Also today, we will be talking about putting in comments in the Facebook comments into the Livestream software that I use. Why am I saying that? Why is that so important? Well, because even though for some applications it is standard, for Livestream Studio it is not yet. So that's the reason why I put in these comments that I show you just for now, a quick look. And it actually really works, and we're going to explore how I did it. And hopefully we will come up with some even more ultimate things. So that is something that I am at least very interested in. That is, those are the things that I wanted to talk to you about today when we start the show. But before we start the show, again, if you are new to the show, put in new in the comments so that I can see you guys that you're new, so that I can talk about it. But also, I have been on a shopping spree. So I bought 2 new albums that I just, I used to have a music show, and what we typically will do in the pre-show is that if, there's something in the music world that I really would like to talk to you about, it's just like a minute or so. So that is this one, Foo Fighters. They actually have a new golden album, if I may say so. It is also called Concrete and Gold, and it's great. It is really old school Foo Fighters. And another album that I bought, well, album CD, is the new one from The Killers. It is called Wonderful, Wonderful, and it includes, for instance, The Man, which at first, when I just heard it the first time, I was like, I don't know if I like it. But once I've been accustomed to it and I'm starting to like it, I said, well, let's. It is a good album, so that's the reason why I have it. That is that. And let me check my stream, if the stream is okay, because it is okay. Great. Okay, so I see that both Paul and René are in the house. Welcome. We have roughly 5 minutes to the show starts. Actually, this is normally also the idea of to check if everything is correct, so technically correct. And yeah, I can walk you through it. I mean, we are live now, so let's just go through it. And I'm open to suggestions, etc. So one of the things that we talked about earlier on in the pre-show was that we will having have a new website, which will be launched today. It says coming soon, but it is actually coming today in the next hour. So that is very soon indeed. But I also want to quickly go through all of the cameras that I have, because there is a story behind each and every one of them. So let's go with this one first, that one there. So this one is called R2D2. R2D2 is one of my favorite characters, and if you have been checking out my set, you see Star Wars is here, but there's also Lego, and there are some droids in there as well. So it is really something that I really like. But that camera is called C3PO. This camera that you've been checking out earlier today is C3PO, and this is like the total shot, which is not yet at his definitive position, because I still need to do some work on the studio, but it's getting closer and closer to where I want to have it. So that is great. And the next one is actually the most important one, in the sense that it is a over-the-top camera, this one. So you can actually see what I'm doing. You can see how I can switch a show, how I can write things down on my keyboard, the other keyboard, a drink. Also important to help me go through the half an hour that we still have to spend with each other, and some audio thing, because of course we want to have audio with the show as well. If I remove this, then you can actually also see that it's really the whole table. So this is actually, you see the whole table. Nothing to hide, like I said. And the thing is that this camera, that camera right there, that camera is actually the roommate camera. And the roommate camera is a camera that you, as a patron, as a roommate, have made possible. And I will definitely use it quite a lot during demos, etc. I have forgot something. That is that I also need my phone for a part of the show, but I'm just considering to do it a little bit differently today. I will definitely do it differently. I will actually run it via this iPad just a bit in the meantime. So I do see that there are some comments coming in. That is always very, very great to see. So let me check why we have an issue, because that means that I have an issue. That sounds a little bit awkward. But that is something that happens. So let me see if I can find out what's going on quickly before the show starts. So this is why we have a pre-show. Which is still going on, of course. Let me remove, oops, that's the one that I need, sorry. Still 1 minute to go, so I still am okay. And let's see if I can now get it to operate the way that I wanted to get it done. Like this. All right. Oh yeah, that's it, like that. Okay, just one more second. Then I want to run this command just to see if it now works. Boom. Oh yeah, of course, that is correct. Like this. Boom. Yes, it is working. Yay! We're back in town. Okay, great. That is fantastic. All right, let's see if we have some comments. Let me see. Whoa, a lot of comments coming in. So Renee says hi, and Paul says hello. My father says hello to Paul and to Renee. A lot of hellos. Floyd says hello. Did you drag home that big studio light? No, I didn't actually, because yeah, it was too big, but it was really beautiful. Anyways, it is time to start the show. So let's go into the correct camera, because I always start with this one. So Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Taekwondo. Today, we are going to let you know how I bring in Facebook comments into the show, which is something which is not possible with the Livestream Studio software that I have currently. So I did my own modifications, and I think that that might be something that is useful for you. So I will walk you through exactly what I did and how I did it so that you can learn from it. And there is also a freebie at the end of the show, so please stick around for that. Also, if you're new to the show, you've never seen Taekwondo before or Petrus Musicando, which was the previous show that I did, then type in new in the comments so that I can welcome you and have some conversation, because I really would like to know about you more. Also, today we will be launching a website. Our website of Taekwondo will be launched today, and at this moment, it actually looks like this. Oops, not like that, but like this. So it is saying or stating coming soon, and that would actually mean that it will be coming today. So that is as fast as we can do it over here. And I have seen it already, of course, and it's really beautiful. It is still a growth website, but you're gonna love it. I'm sure of that. So, without further ado, I think it's the time to start the show. So, indeed, welcome to the show. Welcome to Taekwondo. We have a interesting show lined up for you. We are going to do some technology stuff today, and we're going to really deep dive. I have to prepare my laptop again a little bit because I just switched. But that's life, and I love life, and that is also the reason why I'm here. You might be here, and we have to really talk about all these kind of different things. So what I've done, I have prepared a presentation for you today to talk about how to bring in Facebook comments. And with Facebook comments, I actually mean, let me show it to you right now, something like this. So right below you see Taekwondo and some testing going on. I do see a lot of comments already coming in, but I will be talking about it later on in the show. Don't worry about it, but I wanted to go into the value as soon as possible because you guys are here and your time is precious to me. So let's talk about Facebook comments, and I have here an example how you can do this. So let's delve into it, shall we? So the Facebook comments, the way that I did it was that I actually created a landscape that looks roughly like this. So we are using the API of Facebook. So Facebook has generously made available their functions so that you can get posts, that you can get comments, etc., etc. And this is the way that I have done it at this moment. And there's a blue box that we need to talk about because that's one of the things that is a little bit hurting at this moment, but we'll talk about it. So the first thing that we need to do is that we need to grab all the posts of a page, and we will have a script that does exactly that. All of the posts of your page will be entered in a CSV file, and we will have to manipulate that file so that we only have one post left or multiple posts, because I know that on a different page that I'm following, they asked me, is it possible to, go through multiple posts at one time? Absolutely. With this code, you can go through all of your posts on one page without any problems. You can actually do all kinds of calculations with it if you want that. I didn't do that in my example, but that is definitely possible. So it is a very flexible coding as well. So looking back to it, so we'll get all the posts, and then we want to remove the unwanted post, which is a blue box. Now, the reason why that is a blue box is that is still manual. Why is it manual? Because it is not necessarily always the last post that you actually want to check. Because if you look at me, for instance, I mean, I, for instance, have the show, but also some like mobile lives that I do, which are just to talk about what is coming up next, what I'm doing, some funny stuff like what I'm doing with Alexa this week, and I have to Alexa stop. Thank you. And that kind of thing. So that is really something that I do, but that means that it's not always the last post that we're interested in. It's something what's right in between. So that is something that you need to do manually. Now you can make a very nice graphics out of it, but that I didn't do yet. So that is something that you might want to know. Then looking back to the graph, I just take one post, and then I use another function, another script that gets the comments of that post. So that can be multiple comments. Like for instance, now it is already crazy. We have like loads of comments in here as well. So that means to me that that is working, right? So that is great. That then goes to the Facebook page, and then you will get that CSV file, and then you can bring that CSV file into Livestream Studio. And that is almost a fully automated process, because what I do is now that I run it every minute. It's not every second yet or every 10 seconds, because I want to have a little bit of testing going on, because I don't want to run into issues where it will read and try to write on the same file, for instance. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best, and I don't want to go with like 10 seconds immediately, but that is possible, generally speaking. So that is the way that we're going to do that. Going a little bit further into the thing is that one of the first things that you need to do if you want to go with developing for Facebook, which is actually what we're doing, you actually need to create an app ID or an app secret, as it is called. So let's delve into it, and let's check how that is looking. So I will in the meantime switch to another page, because that is important. Developers, there you go. Okay, and then I can show you my screen. All right, there, cut. So this is the developer portal, and I am logged on. So you can, I'm already logged on here, but it is free, so you can sign up for yourself. And what you actually do is that you see that you have apps here, and you can create a new app. So once you go in for the first time here, you can actually create a new app, and then this pop-up comes up, and it asks you for a display name. So that would be your program name, and the contact email. And then if you click on Create App ID, which I won't do at this moment, but if you click on that, you will get a app ID, and then you can via this menu bar, you can actually go into that and then see that from here. So Python comments is the name of the application that I've created, and that is definitely one thing that I've already done for you. So how does it look like if I go back to the presentation? So again, you can add your application here. and then you go to the next page, which I'm not able to show you because then you will see all those codes, and yeah, that is something that I don't want to do. So you then see your app ID and your app secret, and both of them together are very important for your application so that you can actually run it against the API of Facebook. So that is the way, and the combination of those two. So that is important. In the meantime, let me check if there are some comments, because, well, we're talking about comments, so we might as well just check out if there are some comments, right? So let me see if there are some comments that are related to this show. So no, Jordan says, what lights is that? I'm just checking if there are some lights that I can use for the set, so that's not related to this at all. And a lot of good days, that kind of thing. So that's totally awesome. Cool. Now, once we have the Facebook developer key, or so how you want to call it, you need to install Python, and especially not the newest version, which is a little bit contradictory to what you probably have heard before. But it is important that you use a little bit of an older version, because otherwise I came into some issues that I'm not able to help you with at this moment in time. So what you do for that is that you go to python.org, which I will show you right now. So that this is the page, python.org, and then you see here downloads. And depending on your operating system, you see here some other examples. So for macOS 10, which is the one that I'm using, you can use Python 3.6.2 or 2.7.14. You need to be in the family of 2.7 for the script to work. You just download it and run it, and that really doesn't matter if it is Windows or Mac. It is totally the same way of working than you are used to. So that might be interesting for you to know as well. Let's continue. Also looking at the time, because we have quite some time to go through the to make 30 minutes. So then you create the get post script, and like I said during the landscape, this is really to get the internal ID of the post. So so the post has within Facebook an ID, which is just a group of numbers, like 16 or so numbers, and that is used to identify that post, and everything is pointing to that. So that's a little bit of a database technology there, but that's the way. The bottom line is you need to understand that you need to know that number, otherwise you don't know what you can do. So going forward, there's this post script here, and you can see the app ID, the application secret highlighted. Now these are not, of course, the real secrets and app ID, because that is something that I'm not going to share with you guys, but that is something where you can find it. So this is a highlight of the script. You will get the script in a minute. So it will be there for you. So because here you have the Word document here attached. So if you click on that, you will find that code, and you can do whatever you want with that. So if you run it via Python, so Python space bar post.py, then it will run it. And there is this error, but it's not a big problem. It still works. So I have to check it out, but you can still use it. So that is something that might help you. Then comes the problem, because if you look into the output of that file, you get a tremendous amount of data. and you have to figure out which one is important for which post do you really want to have in your script. So in order to do that, you have this you have to check that line, and then you have the code, and everything you need to do is that you need to remove everything from that file except for the header and that one line, and that is the only manual part that you really need in the whole setup that I have until now. It is not much work, but it is of course not really beautiful. So I would love to have like a selection drop-down list, as I want to have this comment and not more than that, or maybe these 3 comments or something. That would be posts, sorry. That would be interesting as well. But using VI or using your editor, this will work quite well. I'm sure of that. So let me check very quickly if there are some comments, because of course it might be going very fast, and I can imagine that. But again, you will get it yourself. No worries about that. So let me see if there are some comments that we want to discuss. My dad says, any specific libraries required? Absolutely. So I will talk about that later, Dad. My dad makes it likely. Well, wait a second. Why am I doing it like this? I have comments. Come on. So let's do this. Let's show it in real life. So my dad asks, any special libraries required? And the answer to that is yes. And I'll show you very briefly where it is. So if I go back to the presentation, right there, yep, then I can show it to you. Let me think. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. So here you see the library. So the URL lib2 JSON. So we are using the JSON protocol, datetime, SSI, and time. Those are the scripts that are needed for this Python script to run. So that is hopefully a good answer to your question. Let me know if that is not the case. Jordan also reacted to that, so let's check that out. So Jordan says, oh sorry, Floyd says that Jordan, it was an also Studio Light is something else. Sorry, that is my bad. That's totally my bad. Let me go to my presentation. Of course, that was this one, and go to the correct. Yeah. So we were right here, and of course, don't worry if your comment didn't show up. I will contact it. I will go through it again. So we were here with the post script, and then I can go to the next one, which is the comment script. So remember that you first need to get the post that I really would like to have, and then the second thing is that we want to check all the comments that are belonging to that post. Now, it is not only the comments. The API gives you a tremendous amount of additional information, like how many likes did a certain comment have. You can maybe use that to highlight the ones that you really think are important, right? The same thing goes for the posts. You can get the amount of comments, you can get the amount of likes, you can get a lot of different statistics that help you to determine how you're doing on a Facebook level. Now this is out of scope for this script, but you have everything at your disposal to do this at this moment. Well, in a few minutes. So this is the comment script. Again, the app ID, the app secret needs to be filled in. You can also, and I've grayed that out, but if you have a file ID that you want to change by every time yourself, you can just unhash that file ID, and then you can get the question and you just fill in Petrus Taekwondo or another thing that your page name, then it will work. you see an example of how things go. If you say Python comments.py, you will get a result of how much comments that are processed. So that is one comment. So if I would do that manually, which I can actually do, so I can show it to you. Boom. So here I can run it manually, like this. Boom. So we now have processed 17 comments. And that is, of course, very interesting. So let's see if there are some comments that we want to bring up. So that is something that I here. Christian says, is there a limit to comments? We may get a lot. I have not seen a lot, but it is, of course, that the more posts that you are trying to process, so every post has multiple comments. So you can imagine that it has to go through all of those database entries. So the more that the more you want to check, the longer it takes. For instance, for me, the posts script runs roughly 20-25 seconds. So that's a long time, right? The comments one is very fast because it only is checking that post, and then now it only needs to process like maybe 17 comments. So that is not a lot. So that might help you with that. Okay, so that is what I want to talk to you about. Thank you so much for that question, Christian. Really appreciate that question. Thank you so much. Other way. Yeah. So once you have the comments and a Python script ready, you want to create a sh script, or that is actually like a batch file for Windows, so you can actually run it automatically. Now, everything that I'm saying here is based on Mac OS, because if you have Mac OS or Linux, you actually have both possibilities. And with the new Windows 10, you can actually also run a batch command line. So you can actually have the same script running on Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. So that is the reason why I'm doing it this way. But you can pretty much do the same thing with batch files on Windows, and also, so it's all possible. So, but it was just to let you know. So that's exactly what I did. So this is the way that this is what it looks like for me. So if I wait a second, if I say cat. This is what it looks like for me. So it is first of all, it runs the Python comments script, and then it copies it to the Windows box, and that Windows box is, of course, where we have Livestream Studio running, and that is also where you can create a graphics, and then you say based on a CSV file, and that's pretty much it. It's just really 2 mouse clicks in Livestream Studio, and of course you need to get a design. You have to create some video, some design like below here, but that's all you need to do. So it's really straightforward, especially if you know how to do these kinds of graphics. That's not going to be a big problem for you. So that is it. And then, last but not least, you need to schedule it. So I am running it once every minute automatically. But as you can see, I can also run it whenever I please. So this is exactly what I'm doing now, is that I'm just running it manually. And then I see that I have 19 comments, which is, I think, very, very nice indeed. Because then means that I need to maybe check out what it's. Let me see. Mona. Oh, Mona is saying something in Dutch. She's already she's looking at it. That's cool. And Christian says thanks, and that is exactly what I hope to realize. So that is it, right? No. You can actually do it all by yourself. I am giving you the code for free, especially if you're watching this on Facebook. Then you just put in the comments, show it. So that's SHOWIT. If you press that in, if you key that in, show it, SHOWIT, one word, then you will get in this presentation that I just gave you, with one exception, and that is that you need to install the Python software. That is something that I forgot in that, but let me just say that is because you guys have checked it out. It is something that's, yeah, you might find interesting. So that's the reason why I did it like that. Let me see if there's some other stuff. So Amy was also in the house. Amy says, thank you for sharing, very geeky. Yes, it is definitely very geeky, and it's also, but we have to talk about it in like a minute or so. It is something that I'm trying to figure out, how much geekiness do we want to have in this show. So that's something that we can talk about together. But if you like it, definitely that is something that I can do. Another, René says, cool. I also now see that we have a problem with his name, because he has something in there. Oh, that way. There. So there's a problem there. So we need to figure out what that is. But that's, that's bug fixing. That is fine, I think, for now, for where we are at this moment. And I also see some people saying show it in the comments, which is totally awesome. So I love that. Let me just show you how that works. So people are just saying show it here below, like Amy does. And then what you will have is, like, within a minute, maybe less, maybe more, you will get a pop-up in your messenger. And then you need to do it one more time, the same keyword. And then you get the presentation that I just got, with including the code. So it's totally, everything is in there. So again, no, we're fully transparent. The only thing that I'm not showing you here is the secret code and the app ID that I have. That's the only thing that I'm not sharing at this moment. And well, while we're at it, let's go through all of the other show it's, because I like to show it. So Jordan is also saying show it, which is totally awesome. That those two are, and René, of course, also, which is great. So that is this part of the show, and the next part is also something that I'm looking forward to show. One more time, I'll show you the website as it is right now, and it will come right now on the screen. Boom. So it says Tech Condo coming soon. So the URL of the website that I have is called techcondo.net. So techcondo.net. If you go there, maybe somebody can put it down in the comments so that I can show it to to people that I actually that it actually works. So please put it in. And in the meantime, I am going to go into the plugins, and I'm going to open up the website. So this is something. Oh, before I do that. Ooh, that was not good. So I almost forgot about something. I just want to really take this moment, very briefly, to really thank one person in particular, and that is Paul Dixon. Paul Dixon Web Design, and at pauldixonwebdesign.co.uk. He created this website, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And I also know this is not the end result. So we're opening it up. We're making you part of the discussion, and I will already tell you what the discussions are, because this is a community show. So we do things together here in this community. So that's important to know before I open it up. So let's start to do this. All right. Let's see if it works. Boom, it works. All right. Now, let's show what it looks like. So, how can I? Yeah, there you go. So this is the website as it looks right now. So you will have 4 options here on the top of the in the menu. Of course, the home, the watch live, because of course we have here a live show. So that is running. So that is also cool. There is also an option for the Condo Chronicles, which is the newsletter, which I will send out, tomorrow, about also information on what all the URLs that I use and some other stuff as well. And there's also the mailing list that I use to give you some notification up front. And I have to admit that I forgot it today. Sorry for that. So this is still for me also a way of starting things up. So excuse me for that. It is not that I sometimes forget things. And then you've got the support the show, which is of course the ability to support me by donating $5 or $10 a month, and depending on which one you use, you get more or less perks. But one of the things that you can get is that you can get access to a private group on Facebook, where I will give you some heads up on the shows and some exclusive behind the scenes and that kind of thing. So that might be interesting for you as well if you like that. Again, $5 or $10 a month. It's not much, but for me, it is quite a lot because, of course, everything costs money. So yeah, it's just a heads up that that's possible. So, and of course, last but not least, the previous shows are all listed here below. So you've got, this is just an unboxing, so we will do some unboxings. The first test show of 2 weeks ago is here, with of course also a little bit of an exclusive set. And then the show of last week where we discussed the Apple event, but also R2D2. And this is what it looks like, guys. And if you like it, say yes in the comments if you like this website. And let me see in the meantime if you guys have already helped me with the URL, because that would be awesome. So yes, Ed, and definitely it is. René did it. So here it is, http://techcondo.net. There is where you can find the website, and you can watch everything all by in the same. But I almost forgot one thing, and that is the Watch Live tab. So let me go one more time back to the website, and then in full it's yeah. And this Watch Live, it actually only gives the live show. So it doesn't have a way to communicate with the studio or to communicate with other people. Ooh, Inception, nice. But I would really like to know, how are we going to do the chat? Do you want to have a standard chat like chat roll? Or do you want to have maybe old school, IRC? So please let me know in the comments again, IRC or normal chats. That would be great, because we need that in order to go a little bit further with the website. Of course, the website, like I said, I love it. I hope that you do that too. Let me just see if there are some yeses there, because of course I would like to know that. In the meantime, let me check. Oh, yes, there are definitely some yeses. So let's check it out. So Jordan says yes, he likes the website. René likes the website as well. Then Amy says, great job, Paul and Petra. It is actually more Paul than me, but Paul is really the person that he likes. René says the color scheme is really great. Thank you so much. especially if you know how that is coming together, then you will laugh, because I just started with something, turned out to be this, and it works. So yeah, definitely. Thanks so much. So this is the show for today. I hope that you liked it. And of course, again, you have seen them going through the list. Let me show them one more time, but I want to give them a little bit more of a. So there you go. So these people that way. These people over here, like Geeks Life, like Jordan, like Stefan, like Renee, like Kevin, like Echo Tapper. Hope that I have them all now. They all contribute to the show, and I am really happy with them for doing that, because without them, this all would have not been possible. So with that, I would like to leave you with, of course, the end of the show, the end credits, and I'll see you next week, and hopefully in all good health. See you around. Bye!